We're going to start off today with the ripple. The first thing I'm going to do, the ripple that we are going to be making is a multiple of 11. So I'm going to make a sample with a chain of 22. So first I'm going to make my slip knot. Then I'm going to chain by yarning over and pulling through the loop of 22. Then I'll be right back. Here we have my foundation chain of 22 stitches. Now if you're making a different ripple, it might call for a different foundation chain, a different multiple, but this is just for the sample that we're going to make. I'm going to double crochet in my fourth chain from hook, so we don't count the loop on the hook. We count, I'm doing my yarn over, I'll confuse you. Don't count the loop on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert my hook in that fourth chain. You can use the back loop. You can go under the top loop, or under the middle loop, however you want to. For this tutorial, I'm going to go under the middle loop. Now I'm going to make 2 more double crochets in each of the next 2 stitches, chains I should say. Now that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, because your first chain 3 that was skipped counts as a stitch. Now when we talk about a ripple goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you have a hill and then you have a valley. So here we want to make a hill. How would we make a hill? We're going to make more than 1 stitch in the same stitch. So we're going to do an increase of 2 here. We're going to make 3 double crochets in this same place, the same chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have our hill. This is going to be our hill. You can't tell yet, but it will be our hill. Then we're going to make a double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, because that's going to be our ripple. 4, 4, 4. Okay, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of our increase, 1, 2, 3, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We go up, we have our increase, we go down. Now we have to have a valley. So in this instance, we're going to make our valley by skipping 2. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and we're going to go into the 3rd chain with a double crochet. See how we did this? Skipped 1, 2, double crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see what we have so far. We have 4 double crochets here. We have a hill. I'll increase, go down the side of the hill with 4. We skip 2 for our valley. We come up with 4. Now we're going to make another hill. So what do? 3 double crochets in that next chain. Make sure that we don't skip a chain. we're going to work our last 4 chains. Now we want to make our second row. So we're going to chain up. I do 2, you might want to do 3, and turn. Now, we're going to skip this stitch right under my turning chain because our turning chain counts as a stitch. We're going to skip the next stitch because this is going to be our valley on that side. And we're going to go into the next stitch, make a double crochet, and into the next 2 stitches after that. Now, we notice that we have 4 stitches here. 1, skip, 1, 2, 3, so that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we're at our heel from the previous row. See our 3 double crochets in that 1 stitch. So in the center double crochet of that shell, 3 double crochets is a shell, or can be called a shell, I'm going to make another heel there. So I'm going to put 3 double crochets in that heel. And that makes the heel for my second row. Then I'm going to do a double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's the side of my heel. Now I'm going to need another valley. So I'm going to skip the next 2 stitches. Skip this one, skip this one. And I'm going to go into the next one. And I'm going to do 4 there. I like this pattern because you only have to count 4 to see if you've messed up or if you've done it correctly. Okay, so we have our valley, skip 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're back to the 3 and 1 from the last row. See, 3 and 1. And the center double crochet is where we're going to make our next heel. So we're going to do 3 double crochets there. Now we're at the end. Now remember, at the beginning of the row we did a valley. Now we're going to do the same here. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip this stitch and then we're going to go into the last stitch. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 on the side of that heel. We're going to skip this one. We're going to go into the last one, which would be our chain of the 3 chains we skipped in the first row. And we're going to chain up again. We're going to skip the one underneath our turning chain. We're going to skip the next one and go into the next one and make 3 double crochets. One in each of the next 3, I should say, not 3 double crochets in one. Then we're back back to our heel. See, we have 3 double crochets there in one, so we know that that's the heel. In the center would make another heel. Okay, I've made my heel, my 3 double crochets. I've made my 4 double crochets, 1 in each of the next. I'm back to a valley, and I'm going to skip these 2 and do a double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. You're going to continue that pattern, and what I'm going to show you next is that I'm going to change color so you can make a ripple with a striped pattern. Back to my heel here, so I'm going to make a heel, and I'm going to work 3. I'm going to do 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. I'm going to skip the next one, and then I'm going to go into the last turning chain. Now, if I was going to change color, I would not finish that stitch, but rather I'm going to work it until I have 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to find some different yarn. In this case, I'm going to go with a cream color. And I'm just going to lay that yarn over my hook and draw through with it to finish this stitch. And I'm going to do my turning chain with the new color and continue the pattern. Skip this one under the turning chain and the next one, and a double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Then I'm going to make a heel. This is the center of my previous 3. And I'm going to go down my 4, 1 in each of the next 4. And I'm going to continue that pattern just as I did with the green. And then I can change color whenever I want. I can do a different color on each row or however I want to do it, and then you'll see that you're starting to get a ripple here. I'm going to finish this row and add another green, and then I'll be back to show you. So I worked 2 rows. The reason being I didn't want to have to cut and sew, so I just left my green dangling, and I'm going to grab my green here and pull it through to get back to green. You want to, when you do this, you want to make sure that your loop on the side is not going to pull your work in. Make sure it's loose enough but not too loose. And like I said, you can do 2 or 3 double chains there for your turning chain. I'm going to skip the first one, skip the second one, and go into the next one to make my 3 double crochets, which gives me 1, 2, 3, 4 with the skip here. Then I'm back to my chain 3 double crochet shell. I'm going to make my heel. Sorry, that was my washing machine going off. Then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to skip 2, these 2, do 1, 2, 3, 4, back to a heel, 3 double crochets in my heel, 1, 3, skip 1, and go into that last one, and continue. Now you can start to see that it's starting to look like a ripple. You're going up, down, up, down. You can see that? So you're really having a valley, a hill, valley, hill, valley. Starting and ending with a valley in this case. If you were working a different pattern, you might not do it the same way. Another way that you can get this decrease is to, without the hole here, is to do a decrease over 3 stitches. Then your foundation chain would be different here, because you would have 3, of course. You'd need 3 stitches instead of 2 there. Depends on whether you like the hole or you don't. I do, but you might not. You might not want a hole there. So you can change that up if you want to. You can also do more stitches here on each side. You can do a different increase here. You can do a double crochet, chain 2 double crochet, or just whatever pattern. There's hundreds of patterns of ripples that you can choose from once you get it down, the basics, that you're going to have a hill and a valley, because that's what a ripple is. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and you can check at the website for more information on how to figure your foundation chain.